We've been told time and time again that it's important to sample our weave structures, color, set before we set out to weave. That way we'll know what to expect when something comes off the loom. But have you ever felt like you spend all of your time sampling and never actually get to weave? In this video, I'll share valuable techniques for visualizing weaving structures, colors, and even how they will look as a finished product before you even sit down at a loom. This will save you time and money, and you'll get more weaving done. I'm Pamela from Fibersprite.com, and I help fiber artists understand what they really need to know so they can get down to the fun part, actually working with fiber. Now, just to be clear, the weaving goddesses out there will probably come for me if I try to suggest that you can stop sampling altogether. That is not what I'm saying at all. Sampling is a really important part of the process, and there's a lot that you can learn from it. Sampling is essential if you're experimenting with a new structure, yarn, or technique. It's especially important to wet finish your samples so you know how big to make your piece on the loom. And if you have lots of what if questions, samples are really the way to go. Sometimes though, you're reasonably familiar with your yarn set and structure, and you have just enough yarn left to make your final piece. Maybe it's something precious like hand spun or expensive silk. Maybe it's rare or discontinued and you can't get more. Maybe you don't want to order more, or you're worried about mixing dye lots with the new yarn that comes in. At some point or another, we've all been there. So how do you minimize yarn waste while getting satisfying samples? You use weaving software, online visualizers, and targeted real-world samples to make sure that you're on the right track. And if this is the kind of video that's helpful for you, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help us get more great content out to you. The first step in your sampling shortcut process is to mock up your project in your weaving software. This is something that you might already be doing, just entering your draft into the weaving software and then selecting your warp and your weft colors. Be sure to get those colors as close as possible to the actual yarn that you want to use. This will be helpful later on. From there, you can select a weft color that you're considering using and then save the resulting drawdown as either a graphic or a screenshot. Then you'll repeat that as many times as you need to with different weft colors, different warp colors. You can even play with different structures and treadling sequences in this step. As long as you haven't warped your loom yet, the sky is the limit. The second step is a fun bit of free magic. Canva is a free online software that I use extensively. It has word processing, photo editing, and more, and it is much easier to operate than older, more expensive software like Photoshop. In Canva, you can create a new project, then upload the graphics you saved earlier into your Uploads section. Next, go to Apps, then go to Mockups. Most of the mockups I use are under Home and Living or Apparel. Now, you'll click on whatever mockup you like the best, then go back to your uploads and drag the image you want into the mockup on the landscape icon. You can then play with the scale of the image in the mockup with the fill, fit, and alignment options. Repeat this step for as many times as you want with different color combinations, structures, and treadlings. At this point, you will have a collection of sample images. I find that these are really great in helping me imagine what the final fabric will look like. Sometimes I will download them, then crop them, and then play with them on top of other images, like this example of a blanket mock-up on an image of my sofa. With this process, I was able to imagine lots of different scenarios for designing my living room. Not just with weaving, but with art, mirrors, lamps, and more, all without nailing any holes in the wall or spending time and money buying things that I didn't end up needing. Now, at some point, we do need to get off the computer and actually start working with our yarn. If you're pretty sure you know what you want to do and you have a little bit of extra space available on your warp, now is a great time to weave a small sample, cut it off, and wash it, just to be sure. However, if you're still on the fence about weft colors or other color combinations, tiny samples are a really great step in the process to help you narrow down your choices. I love Shact's Zoom Loom for making tiny swatches. Each square only uses 8 yards of yarn. If you have a little bit more time and yarn available, a frame loom is also a great choice. For the project I'm currently working on, I made 3 Zoom Loom swatches with potential weft colors. I chose 2 that I liked the best, and then I put them against my sofa in real life where the throw is going to be, and I looked at them for quite some time. I left them there for actually a week or 2 to decide what my final weft color would be. Once I decided which color I preferred, then I was able to finally head to the loom, and I still sampled both colors just a little bit, just to be sure. But what this whole process did, from the visualizing in my weaving software, to visualizing on the computer, to visualizing on my couch, all of that helped me keep from falling into the trap of buying tons of extra colors of weft yarn that I didn't need. Now, maybe you clicked on this video and you thought, I'm going to be done with sampling forever. And that's not what this video is about. But if after watching this video you still find yourself allergic to sampling, don't worry. There are tons of things that you can do to completely avoid sampling. You can buy kits where all the sampling has already been done for you, or you can weave from projects and magazines. Those have already been tested, so you can be reasonably certain of your results. But if you want to learn more about designing your own fabric, be sure to check out my Design a Warp with Me videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.